Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here with vinyl video number whatever. This is just a test. Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here. I'm going to do a 21 albums video. But before I get started on that, I want to thank Cold Wax MN. He had a contest and I won the contest, and what I bought was this CD. It's a band from Morocco, Al Zaman Saibib or something. Comes with this booklet. Now somebody in the VC showed this, and I was looking and I couldn't find who it was. So hopefully he's watching this and he can let me know, and I'll give him credit in the next video. It's got all the words to the songs, and this is to the music of James Brown. Papa's got a brand new bag, is it? Very cool. I couldn't find it on vinyl, so I got the CD. I'll be listening to that in my car on the way to work tonight. I also got some outer sleeves for some records, and I had some albums in the closet in the hall that did not have outer sleeves, so I was pulling out those albums. And as I was doing that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick 21 of them and just make a 21 albums video. We're going to start off with Rolling Stones Now, Mono. I don't know where this is. It's got Heart of Stone, You Can't Catch Me, Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. Some people prefer this era of the Rolling Stones. I really don't. I'm not a really big fan of the first few albums of the Rolling Stones. In fact, I think their first album has a lot of filler on it. Now this album, on the other hand, I think is great. I know it's a bit of a compilation of sorts, I guess. And I don't even know if this was released in England, but this is a really great, really good album. Flowers by the Rolling Stones. Here's another one. Tommy, The Who. This is my version from very early 70s. Let's see, what is this? Oh, I guess it comes with a book. I even forgot about that. But this is another album, in my opinion, is overrated. It has a lot of filler in it. It opens up, it's like three-way, and I mean, it has some really great songs, and I really wish they would have just made it a single album. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the rock operas anyways. I think it's a pretentious bunch of crap, but I saw this album here, The Best from Tommy, The Who, a single disc, and I go, wow, that's exactly what I wanted, you know. And it doesn't have all the songs that I would have picked, but yeah, I prefer this over the original album. Next one is Jean-Luc Ponty. It's called King Kong. He plays the music of Frank Zappa. I've heard some other Jean-Luc Ponty albums, and they're okay, but this one here is fantastic. Absolutely a great album. There's Frank right there. There's Gene, and there they are together. Spectacular album. I bought this in '71, I believe. And it's probably the year it came out. This is The Worst of the Mothers, I believe. Can't read it on the side there. The light's not real great right here. Let's take a look. It's got Status Back Baby, Wowie Zowie, You Didn't Try to Call Me. Yeah, this is like a Concentration Moon. Flower Punk. It's a good album. It's a kind of a comp or greatest hits. Very good album here. Frank Zappa, Chunga's Revenge. Yeah, I've said before, I'm a big fan of the Frank Zappa and the Mothers up until early 70s, and then I lost interest. The Masked Marauders. Look at, I don't know if you can see that hole punch. It kind of cracks me up, people on the VC, they get excited. Oh, this is a promo copy. You can tell by the type of hole punch. It's still a cutout. I mean, come on, give me a break. The Masked Marauders, there was a lot of mystery about this band. There was rumors that it was members of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. It turned out I don't believe it was. In fact, I'm 100% sure it wasn't. But I really don't know who it was, and the album is just okay. That's one of those in the dollar bins back in the day, or maybe even 3 for $1 that me and my brother used to go rummaging through. And here's another one that I got that way. May Blitz. I don't know where this is at on their. It's their first or their second album. It's a pretty cool album cover though. Jeez. Even King Kong don't want to mess with her, boy. This is the inside. I couldn't really see the camera. I don't know if that showed up or not. That's a good album. It's a rockin' early 70s. Very good album. Next one, not so good. This is a Pale. Live in Tokyo, Public Image Limited. This is probably this is around the worst era of Public Image right here. This album here is actually he had some commitment to do some gigs in Tokyo, and he didn't have a band, so he just got some studio musicians. They practiced a few weeks and they went over there and did the gigs. I mean, considering that, it's actually a pretty good album. But I don't know if this came out before This Is What You Want, This Is What You Get, which in my opinion is probably their worst album. But I mean, it's not a bad album, but there's way better, way better. Now, this is an interesting album. What's this guy's name? Paul Roessler. He's actually the brother of Kira. She was the bass player in Black Flag for years. And this guy was in Twisted Roots. And I think almost all the members of Twisted Roots are on this. It's produced by Paul Cutler. He was in Twisted Roots and later was the guitar player for 45 Grave. Oh, look, right there it even says, featuring Twisted Roots. But yeah, this is a good album. Twisted Roots were a really good band. One of those LA bands that really, I don't think they made an album. Here's a Grateful Dead. Anthem of the Sun. Really cool album cover. This is their second album. Really cool picture of the band there. I bought this in very early 70s, so I don't know what press this is. It is definitely an early press. This one here is for the Metal Theologian. I can't remember what this sounds like, but the album cover just cracked me up. Parsec, 'Twas Meant to Be. I mean, he loves those do-it-yourself album covers, and that's about as do-it-yourself as you can get. And I really don't remember this album. The back is just plain. Listing the members of the band, the song titles and whatnot. There's another do-it-yourself looking album. This one here I do remember. It's a punk band. Neighborhood Watch. They're, from what I remember, they're okay. I know I saw them in concert a few times. Southern California band, not sure where they're from. Here's a Status Quo album. Ma Kelly's Greasy Spoon. 71, I think. I got this when it came out in 71 too. Got some ring wear, but the album's in good shape. This is when they started their rockin' phase. I want to get their first album, and then I'm done with them. Here we go, John Spencer's first band. I guess it's his first band. Pussy Galore. Pussy Gold 5000. I think I bought a Record Store Day version of this and showed it in a video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. It's on Buy Our Records. I really like this band. Good album. Here's Prog. Yes, his second album. Time and a Word. This is their first and their second album are has their moments, but they're not really great. Their third album though, that's when they started really taking off, and Yes made some really good albums. I mean, they were fantastic. I really liked Yes until Rick Wakeman joined the band, and then I didn't care for that era. But yeah, it's a decent album. I mean, let's put it this way. This album is better than a lot of these obscure bands that people like to show a lot of obscure bands on the VC, and it's understandable. It's kind of cool seeing them. But there's a reason certain bands are staples. I mean, like The Who, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles. I mean, some of these obscure bands, they're obscure for a reason, you know. And some of them, yeah, they got overlooked. But a lot of them are obscure because, you know, they were so good. Naughty Sweeties, Chinatown. The reason I picked this up, and it's actually a pretty good album, I was at the concert where they recorded this. It was recorded at Madame Wong's restaurant, and it was pretty interesting. They played for a long time because there were like songs that they did, like, you know, they did their set, and then they took a little break, and they said, you know, we're gonna take a break, we'll be back, and they redid a lot of the songs to make sure they had a really good, you know, so they could have a choice of, you know, picking the best version of the song. I mean, there were some they did twice, there were some they did 3 times, and this band came out in that first wave of punk new wave bands, and they were just a good rock band is what they are, which was the case with a lot of the punk bands. You know, they were just playing good rock and roll. Here's my version of Cream, Wheels of Fire. This is another album. I wish they just would have released, you know, the studio stuff. Made it, you know, a single album. I mean, the live stuff, it's good. I mean, I listened to it, but I don't need to hear the 20-minute drum solo. It's got a really great album cover though, and one of maybe the greatest bands ever. Eric Clapton on guitar, Jack Bruce bass and vocals, and Ginger Baker, the best drummer that rock has ever produced. I mean, he was a jazz drummer, and he adopted that to rock, and fantastic. This is Judy Henske and Jerry Yester. This is another one of those dollar finds I found. I don't know what the name of the album is. It's a good album though. I mean, I just got it because of the album cover. Look at that. That is so cool. And it's a gatefold. I don't know. I'm not, just a bunch of text mostly. There's a photo of the gang. We're kind of winding down. Let me play this one song, the last song on this CD. I don't know if you can hear the music or not. No. Free. This is crude. Yeah, this song here. This sounds like Captain Beefheart, man. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the reason I brought that up, this is a Clear Spot, Captain Beefheart, and the Magic Band. It's a really good album. Very public friendly, I should say. It's not like Trout Mask Replica. See, listen to that. Sounds like that early twangy guitar. I like this album. I think the album that came out, I believe it came out right before this, is the Spotlight Kid. That's probably my favorite Captain Beefheart album. That and the first. I'm not a big fan of Trout Mask Replica. I think it's overrated. It would have been 100 times better if it would have been just a single album. I'm saying that, this is probably the third time I've said that. But that album, I mean, quite honestly, it has filler on it. I mean, it has some crappy songs. I mean, I could pull the album and list the songs that, and there's no way anybody could argue the fact. This is not the original version. I had this. It was packaged in a clear, really thick plastic, and it had just a sheet. This is a later issue. And that's it. 21 albums. I am going to show a couple other honorable mentions, just to show you guys some stuff that kind of stuff I was listening to when I was in high school. There were bands like Foghat, and I just couldn't relate to that crap. I guess it's good boogie woogie, but it just wasn't me. Here's one. John Cage, Concerto for Prepared Piano and Orchestra. I mean, I'm not going to say this was heavy rotation on my turntable. It wasn't. I see bums. That's a joke between me and my brother. This is the inside. But yeah, I used to like to listen to this kind of stuff when I was in high school, That's why I eventually got into jazz. Is I got kind of tired of some of the crappy rock music. This is Sun Ra and his Intergalactic Research Orchestra. What a load of crap that is. Pretty cool album cover. Sun Ra's funny, man. He cracks me up. There's some ringware that I could clean up. There's a good picture of Sun Ra right there. But yeah, I'll end it on that. It's 18 minutes. That's more than enough time. So that was 21 albums plus 2. Everybody, take care. Yeah, thank you, Cold Wax MN. I really dig this album. Or I wish I could have found the album, but I couldn't find it. And I hope I find out who showed this, and I'll mention you in my next video. And that's about it. I did have to remove. I did take my entry to his contest off. I deleted it. The sound quality was horrible, and it's not like this is high. I'm not making high-tech videos here, but it was pretty bad. It was a video I tried to make with using my phone, because I wanted to try to get a better video quality. And that's it, man. Whatever. I'm babbling now. Take care, everybody.